Coming to you live on Wednesday, the day before a national United States holiday. How's everybody doing in the world? Where are all the wide awakeys? Huh? Got UFO sightings around the world. What's up, man? Come on in, say hi, how you doing? This is that holiday edition. Hermano, what's going on? It's Andre Castro. How we doing? What's going on out there? How's everybody doing? I would say grand rising, but it's a little bit too late today. It's 5:07 p.m. here in Newport Beach, California. How we doing out there? Blessings to you. We're trying to change our vocabulary, everything positive. Friendsgiving. Are we really doing this holiday? I'm going to talk to you about that for a second. Let me just talk to you for really quick because I'm going to turn the camera around. So this past weekend, I deactivated my account because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to shut it down for the rest of the year. People are getting the same messages of time to take a break. I find that the internet, let me just use Twitter or X as an example. They love engagement. It doesn't matter your viewpoint. If it's negative, if it's ultra negative, they love it. If it's ultra positive, not so much. They love the friction. And so now when I see things and a lot of these videos on social media, these are messages we were putting out 3 years ago. It's just recycling. They're just keeping people hooked like this is television. Your cell phone is the matrix. The internet is the matrix. But I also realize that I do have a responsibility because how many of y'all have been alone on the holidays in the last 3 years? 3 years ago, I was in Thanksgiving in Seabrook, Texas, in my apartment. It was my first Thanksgiving alone. And I'm not going to lie. At first, it was a little bit... First, I was happy. I'm not going to lie because I'm like, oh, I feel this relief. Like, oh, I don't have to deal with family and drinking Crown Royal in the corner on the holidays. I could actually be alone. But it's kind of mixed feelings. And I know a lot of people, this is your first year alone. And so I wanted to do something really quick. I got some mixed messages. For those of you who are ADHD, you'll be able to understand me. But I'm going to turn the camera around because it's just going to be easier for me to talk. Okay. Yes, sir, Mr. Cody. I'm in Cali. We got to connect, my brother. We have to connect. I hope you guys can see me. I wanted to talk this way because my ADHD causes me to look here, there, and I forget the messages. And so I wanted to share a few things. For those of you who are alone the first time ever, and this is your first holiday without your mom or your dad or anyone, we're with you. And it may seem a little bit sad at first, but I'm going to be honest, as you start to evolve, this is kind of what the program is like. So 3 years ago, again, I was just talking about, I sat in my apartment in Seabrook, Texas. I went live on TikTok. And when you first start sharing your message or you find your community of spiritual people, you find people that rock with you. And it pretty much, we're not all going to agree on everything. But if people know you come from a good place, they rock with you. And so, again, it's this mixed feelings of, man, this is a holiday. Let me just start from this perspective. When you first wake up, it's like your consciousness is a spinning top and it spins fast. And you see all the connections and you see how everything is connected and your whole life, how it played out. And these are, again, soul contracts. You start having dreams, deja vu, seeing repeating numbers. And then you want to fight for everything. You want to fight the criminal justice system. You want to fight for LGBTQ. You want to fight against big pharma. You want to fight against racism. You want to fight against misogyny. You want to fight against everything. Homelessness. You want to fight against everything. And you see yourself as a hero or a savior of the world, and you are. But by now you should see that you healing you taking care of your business and leveling up with what your community and your surroundings is actually changes the entire world. How many things could you fight for? How many oppressed groups are in this world right now? Even the white male in his own way is oppressed. Everybody's oppressed because The Matrix is very smart. It creates this system where when you get comfortable, oh, they're not fighting anymore. There's peace and harmony. Let's throw a wrench in there. Oh, they're comfortable again. Oh, you've been manifesting love. We're gonna send you somebody, almost the right person, but it's gonna be a false flame. This program that you designed is a game of self-mastery. There's no villain. There's no enemy. Everybody is you. We're all one person in God's body, if you want to call it that. There is an opponent, though, right? The opponent is the anti what we are. So when I see people waking up and they go through this program of, I'm going to fight everything because we're here to fight everything. No. When you put out negative energy, when you reply to negative comments to people, when you use your voice in a negative way, that gives off a frequency and you attract more negativity. It's very hard, though, to stay in the love and light frequency, right? It's very hard to just say, yes, we love everybody. Yes, everybody's your brother and sister. But sometimes you get on tilt. Sometimes you snap. Sometimes you clap back because you start to take up for yourself. But I'm here to tell you, as living proof, when you start to heal, when you start to take care of your business and your avatar, that other world doesn't exist. It's not that homelessness doesn't exist. It's understanding that a lot of homeless people chose to be homeless because they tapped out of the system. We've seen people talking to trees and hugging trees and talking to animals 20 years ago, and we're like, oh, this dude's crazy. They were actually more awake than us. It's a crazy program and a crazy system where you stop judging people. I don't care what anybody else does with their life. Do you? You stop getting angry at people. People holding on to grudges 10, 20, 30 years ago, that's the old wave. I mean, and if you're still doing drama at the end of 2024, I got to think you like it. A lot of us are gluttons for punishment. I'm just going to say that. So I know this Thanksgiving, or whatever we call it, Indigenous Day, that's another program. The Matrix, again, wants us to fight each other. And every group here is oppressed. Do you understand that? There are very, very, very few people who understand this system. There are very, very, very few people who understand energy. When you understand energy, you really start to level up in the game, because the person who cuts your hair, that's an energy exchange. The person who cooks your food, that's an energy exchange. Your boyfriend who gave you those Louis Vuitton purses and all those gifts, guess what? You're still attached to their energy. All those memories in your camera roll of people that may not serve your highest good, it's not that you don't love them, but a lot of people are holding on to old memories of the past. You might have been Mr. Everything at your old company. You might have been a CEO making $500,000 a year, and now you're driving Uber Eats making $10,000. Now, this might sound strange to some people, but I guarantee you, you have way less stress when you, it's not, money's a real trap here, and so is the cell phone, but it's just a crazy thing to say that at some point you just look for harmony, you look for peace, you look for balance, you look for your tribe, you stop trying to figure everything out. Everything here is a rabbit hole. There's a million and trillion rabbit holes here that all lead you back to the same place, which is God. And yes, you are God, and yes, I am God, and yes, you created your own reality, and so did I. And I got to think, if you're still on this live, you probably know that somewhere along the line we got a soul contract. And we're probably connected through birthdays, addresses, telephone numbers, school mascots of the schools we went to, first loves. It's all connected. So again, I'm just saying, I just wanted to hop on and say this. So in case any of y'all are depressed, or I guess you could see me. Okay, you can see me. Don't be depressed. This is like, we're getting so close. And let me just say this, for those of you who, I made a video a couple of weeks ago, and I talked about an omen. It's been 3.5 years since I talked to my mother. And I could so tell you the soul contract. And my mother was my hardest teacher and my hardest coach and my biggest hater. But guess what? She also loved me the most, because the person who tests you the most, you got to understand, your mom is probably more like your brother or sister. Like, these are soul contracts. When people sign up to come to earth, they sign you up to be like, I don't know, the race of people where they had maybe Vikings. They have a baby and they throw it in the water, and if the baby can't swim, they just let it drown. Hey man, a lot of us went through that tough contract, and I've been talking to my mom almost every day. Not very long conversations, but this is how I know we're getting to the end of the game. Because again, I'm not going to get into the circumstances of why I left home and it was a calling from God, because most people won't understand. But for the people who do, I know we're getting close. In the last 2 weeks, I had people message me from my childhood. At least 8 people reached out and said, bro, I've been watching you for a while. I ain't never messaged you. But dog, the dreams, I'm starting to remember. People are waking up gradually out of the coma. And all this shit that they had to throw against the wall, it was the food, it was the water, it was the air, it was just every single thing. COVID, every divisive thing that you can think of, the wars, every single thing was designed to jar your consciousness and say, are you awake yet? And you had to make a decision like, does that feel real? Does that look real? Is that a movie set? It has to be feeling like a movie set by now. I have to feel like you're starting to see the patterns. And let me just throw this in there. This is really random. My favorite movie was Gladiator, and it came out in 2000. Russell Crowe. It's a comeback story. And anybody who's ever been knocked down in this life, any entrepreneur, anybody who's ever gotten that, what kicked out of them, you probably resonated with that movie. And it was classic. And in January of 2020, y'all probably don't know this story. I got released by the federal building when I told the Department of Homeland Security that we live in the Matrix and that Wells Fargo was a money laundering operation. The first car I saw was a yellow Ferrari, and the license plate in Seabrook, Texas, near NASA, and it said Maximus. And I'm like, hold on, am I Maximus? We're all Maximus. We're all Jonah. I'm just an avatar. But let me just say this. I went to go see Gladiator 2 last week. Man, look, we all know that this is an evolution of Hollywood, and I really feel like we're going to make our destiny is to remake a lot of movies, or make conscious movies, or do things where it's entertaining, but it's awakening, right? Because we're meant to do so much more. But Gladiator 2 was terrible. And anybody who saw it, I think you would agree with that. I know I threw some random subjects at you, but the more you start to evolve, and that top is still spinning, it's the more your reality seems fake. And you meet 4 people named Josh in a day, and then you see the same license plate 8 times in a day, and then every single thing, and then somebody comes up to you on the street and says some line off a movie. It's every shirt you read. Everything is a part of the design of your program, because ultimately you're Truman. And the last thing I'll say before I flip the camera around is, again, you're God. Like, you can't judge anybody. You can't hate anybody. Look at the Bible verse, John 4:20. By the way, that's another download for you. Look up your birthday. If you want to chat GPT and use AI, put your birthday in chat GPT, like the day and the month, and then put Bible verses. And see all the things that resonate with you. Angel numbers don't mean one thing. Your birthday doesn't mean one thing. It's infinite meanings. It's just whatever resonates with you at that time. So that's all I wanted to say really quick. Let's see if this is still working. Sorry. Okay. Y'all still following me? I know. Did y'all follow me on that? I know I threw some random subjects and some random topics at you. I probably got some trolls in here because I couldn't look. Are you resonating with that? Are you starting to feel the connectivity? The dreams, guys. The dreams. Every night. It's like I can control them with a remote controller. Do you feel it? Do you feel like you're lucid dreaming so strong? It's like, I can go meet anybody in the astral realm, anyone. I can. It's like, I'm telling you, it's so strong. It's so beautiful. As much as I cry and whine about this game, it's the greatest movie ever written. It's the greatest story ever written. It's the story of you. And we're infinite beings. Like that's got to excite you more than anything ever, is that when you die, you don't die. Like, I had this irrational fear of dying when I was younger. But when you die, you don't die. And everything's designed. Yeshua incarnated to teach people how to get off the wheel of karma so they could stop repeating Earth. Because the next level, raise your hand if you feel like you've experienced the next level either through psychedelics or through a near-death experience, or just, it could have been weed. You could have had too much weed one time where you tapped into a different realm and you felt something and you connected to source and your body was vibrating and you saw something beyond this realm that was intoxicating. Huh? Have you seen it? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. It's a dream, guys. It's a dream. So when you know that, you take it, you feel me, man. Cody, I know you feel me. It's a dream. You felt connected to source. It's like a vibration in your body where it's a full mind and body orgasm where you're just like, hold up, bro. This reality is kind of hard because you get all the answers in that other realm. And then you come back here and you're like, dude, this is so low vibe. Nobody gets it. Nobody gets me. You're lucky to find somebody at your frequency. You're lucky to find two people. It's a dream, baby. He knows. He knows. We're going to connect soon. But all you have to, we're in heaven dreaming of earth. Thank you. That's exactly what it is. Life is opposite. And when you see it that way, it's just, you just enjoy the experience more, and there's no hate and violence and negativity. Everything is predicated on changing your frequency. I finally got the message. You can use your voice and your ego all you want, and I'm going to do. It doesn't work that way. You changes everyone. That's how it works. It's just really as simple as that. So anyways, I just wanted to hop on here really quick. Might come back on here tomorrow. I want to say thank you. I love you all. Don't go out and get too faded tonight. I know the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we know, Bubba. We know what y'all used to do. Man in the mirror. All right. We'll talk to y'all soon. Yes, thank you. Thank you.